Hello everyone, my name is Rich Keener. I'm the village manager for the Village of Avila Park, and today's another one of my segments where I'll be talking about the upcoming board meeting and its formal agenda. So today's segment is the Monday, February 22nd formal board meeting. And so let's begin. So number one is the call to order, the roll call. Number two is Pledge of Allegiance. Number three is public comments on agenda items. And folks, that's the appropriate time for anyone in the audience to come to the podium and make comments on agenda items on the formal agenda for that evening. Moving on is number four, it's amendments to the agenda. And that's the appropriate time for the village president or trustees to modify or revise the formal agenda for that evening. Number five is our consent agenda. We have 5A. We have minutes from the board meeting held on February 8th, 2021. We have 5B, which is the bill listing for the week of February 1st, 2021 and February 8th, 2021 in a total amount of $966,416.34. So moving on, we have number 6, which is our second reading on ordinances to be codified. So we do have one for the meeting. We have 6A. It's ordinance of the Village of Avila Park, Dupage County, Illinois, allowing the keeping of chickens within the village. So folks, the background on this particular item is that the village enacted a 2-year pilot program that allowed the keeping of chickens on residential lots under certain restrictions. This pilot program is nearing its end. In response to public requests, staff recommends certain text amendments that, if approved, would allow the keeping of chickens subject to regulations within the Village of Avila Park. The proposal has been updated to reflect public comments received at the February 8th, 2021 meeting. So folks, just as I described, the 2-year program is ending for the keeping of chickens, and it was a pilot program. And at the February 8th meeting, the keeping of chickens was thoroughly discussed, and certain changes were recommended to the ordinance which would allow permanently keeping of chickens. And some of the regulations that were suggested or recommended, if you will, the permitting be allowed to 50 different properties, so 50 households, a reduction in the lot square footage to a maximum of 6,000 or no less than 6,000 square feet. Calling the chickens chicken/hens so that everyone knows that the roosters are not allowed and things of that nature. So again, the 2-year pilot program is coming to an end, and so if this is approved Monday night, the keeping of chickens will be on a permanent basis but limited to 50 households and some other restrictions. So moving on to 7, which is our ordinance section, we have 7A. We have ordinance of the Village of Avila Park, Dupage County, Illinois, establishing temporary executive powers pursuant to Chapter 8, Article 3, Sections 8-301 through 308 of the Avila Park Municipal Code, 65 ILCS 5/11-1-6 of the Illinois Municipal Code, and 20 ILCS 3305-11 of the Illinois Emergency Management Act. This ordinance extends the temporary executive powers contained in Ordinance 4189 approved by the Village Board on January 25th, 2021 and on February 8th, 2021 until such time that the board can reconvene in an open meeting. So folks, the extraordinary powers relates to staffing, purchasing of chemicals, masks, things of that nature. To bypass the bidding procedures, we may have to act quickly to purchase any kind of needs to respond to the COVID pandemic in a timely manner. It also allows for cooperating with other governments as well. So moving on to 7B for Monday night, February 22nd, is an ordinance of the Village of Avila Park, Dupage County, Illinois, granting a special use for an elementary school and variation to lot coverage to exceed 30% and allow 71% lot coverage. So folks, the background on this particular item is that School District 45 is proposing improvements to Ardmore Elementary School. These improvements will enhance the learning opportunities for its student population. These improvements include an 800,000 square foot main office addition, enhancing building security and providing ADA access. Several classrooms will be renovated to accommodate full-day kindergarten, and the parking lot will be expanded with additional related site improvements. So folks, just as I mentioned, School District 45 is proposing improvements to Ardmore Elementary School, and we're going to be discussing a special use Monday night and a variance to lot coverage as well. So kind of a nice improvements, I should say, to Ardmore Elementary School. So moving on to 7C, we have an ordinance of the Village of Avila Park, Dupage County, Illinois, granting a special use for a planned unit development to allow 2 principal buildings on a single site and a variation to allow a rear setback to be 40 feet for property located at 301 West Jackson Street. And folks, that's the property for Jackson Middle School. So here's the background on this particular item. School District 45 is planning needed improvements at Jackson Middle School. These improvements will enhance learning opportunities for its student population. These improvements include construction of a 36,000 square foot facility at the south end of the Jackson Middle School property, new parking, and additional related site improvements. So folks, this particular item concerns improvements to Jackson Middle School. So again, they're going to construct a 36,000 square foot facility to the southern portion of their lot, and new parking, additional site improvements, and then they're also seeking a special use for a planned unit development, and then a setback to be 40 feet. And so that's what we'll be discussing for that, is the 2 buildings, 2 primary buildings on one location. It will be the special use PUD, and then of course the 40-foot setback will be discussed as well. So moving on to 7D for Monday night, we have an ordinance of the Village of Avila Park, Dupage County, Illinois, granting a special use for an elementary school, a variance to lot coverage to exceed 30% and allow 76% lot coverage, and a variation to allow a rear setback to be 18 feet. So folks, the proposal, or the background I should say, in this particular item is that School District 45 is proposing improvements to North Elementary School, which was initially constructed in 1954. These improvements will enhance the learning opportunities for its student population. These improvements include a 6,000 square foot classroom addition, parking lot replacement, and playground blacktop space. So folks, again, this is improvements to be done at North Elementary School, and the special use for that particular elementary school will be discussed, along with a variation for lot coverage and also the rear setback to be 18 feet. So for Monday night, we'll have 3 different discussions on 3 different schools for improvements. So moving on to 8, which is our resolutions section, we have 8A. We have a resolution of the Village of Avila Park, Dupage County, Illinois, approving an engineering services agreement with Civil Tech Engineering, Inc. of Itasca, Illinois, for Phase 1 preliminary engineering of the Tri-Trail Connector project in an amount not to exceed $131,643. So folks, the background on this particular item is that the village has been awarded Surface Transportation Program funding from the DuPage Mayors and Managers Conference, also known as DMMC, for the Tri-Trail Connector project to be constructed in our calendar year 2023. The The Tri-Trail project will provide a multi-use path to connect the Salt Creek Greenway Trail, the Illinois Prairie Path, and the Great Western Trail. This resolution will approve an agreement with Civil Tech Engineering, Inc. to perform Phase 1 engineering design for the project. Phase 1 engineering services include early coordination and data collection, field survey, crash analysis, traffic analyses, alternative geometric studies, preliminary environmental assessment, wetland study, drainage evaluation, jurisdictional evaluation and documentation, draft project development report, agency coordination, public involvement, and final project development report along with associated administration and project coordination. So the funds for the Phase 1 engineering design were budgeted in TIF 5 Kenilworth, account 2750201299, and TIF Fund 4, which is the St. Charles TIF, account 2850201299. So folks, this particular item is the Tri-Trail Connector project, where we're going to connect all three trails together, which is the Greenway, the Great Western, and the Illinois Prairie Path. And when we connect those, it'll almost be a little over, say, 3 miles or so, and it'll encompass the South Villa Business District. So if anyone was interested in having like a 5K, we could run the 5K there, and then the folks could visit the area and spend some money, things of that nature. But the three trails have never been connected, so it's going to be an interesting project and kind of neat, actually. So moving on to number 8B for Monday night, February 22nd, we have a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, Dupage County, Illinois, regarding construction and maintenance on state highways. So folks, the background of this particular item is that Chapter 121 of the Illinois Compiled Statutes requests that any person, firm, or corporation desiring to work on state-maintained rights-of-way must first obtain a written permit from the Illinois Department of Transportation. A surety bond is required with each permit application to ensure that all work is completed in accordance with state specifications and that the right-of-way is properly restored. For permit work to be performed by employees of a municipality, a resolution is acceptable in lieu of the surety bond. This resolution will allow the Village of Villa Park to perform work in the state's right-of-way with village employees without a surety bond. Staff recommends approval of this resolution. So folks, we do work in the state's right-of-way, and to do that we have to pass this resolution, which assures the state that we will work in the right-of-way and complete our tasks appropriately and restore the area as it was pre-construction. And some of the items that are in state right-of-way could be the water and sewer mains or a storm drainage main as well, so any of those utilities. So again, moving forward to 8C for Monday night is a resolution authorizing participation in the Northern Illinois Municipal Electric Collaborative, also known as NIMEC, and authorizing the village president to approve a contract with the lowest cost electricity provider for a period up to 36 months. So folks, the background of this particular item is that the village has been using NIMEC as its consultant broker since 2009. NIMEC has extensive expertise in the Northern Illinois power market and manages a buying collaborative aggregating the collective power of 123 municipalities, as well as 47 libraries, park districts, and water districts. The collective volume of the buying collaborative allows NIMEC to negotiate rates that are lower than what an individual municipality could negotiate on its own. This resolution pertains to the purchase of electricity for the village-operated water pumping facilities and other municipal buildings. As NYMEX bid prices are only good for the day the bids are received, it is recommended the village board delegate signing authority to the village president to accept a bid by entering into a contractual relationship with the winning power supply. So folks, as I mentioned, the village has been working with NYMEX since 2009, and NYMEX will go out and bid electricity, or bid for electricity, and using its collaborative nature with the libraries, water districts, park districts, and other municipalities, and using that effort to get the best rate it can for its customers. And so once the bids come back on March 3rd, we only have a few hours to sign the contract with the winning bid, obviously the lowest bid, because that bid won't be good for any other day except for March 3rd, and we don't have a board meeting on March 3rd, so we'll have to delegate the signing authority to the village president so he can execute a contract with the winning bidder. So moving on to number 9 for Monday night, February 22nd, we have public comments on non-agenda items, and that's the appropriate time for anyone in the audience to come to the podium and comment on items that are not on the formal agenda for that evening. Number 10 is the village clerk's report. Number 11 is the village trustees report. Number 12 is the village president's report. Number 13 is the village manager report, my report. Number 14 is executive session, and we will have executive session Monday night, but we will not have any action items coming out of executive session. So 14A is pursuant to the general provisions of the Open Meeting Act. We have A, 5 ILCS 120/2C1 personnel matters. We have C2 collective bargaining matters. We have C5 purchase or lease of property. We have C6 sale or lease of property. We have C11 pending litigation. And we also have C21 discussion of closed session minutes. And then after that, folks, we'll adjourn, and that's number 15. So this will be an in-person meeting, so the village hall will be open. We'll still be following social distancing mitigation efforts to minimize the effects of COVID-19. So you can come in person. You must wear a mask, and we'll probably see you 6 feet away from other folks. But again, it will be in person. It will not be a Zoom meeting. And look forward to seeing you. If you come, fine. If you don't, you can still view it on our YouTube platform or on AT&T or Comcast as well. Again, my name is Rich Keener. It's my honor to be the village manager for the Village of Villa Park. Take care and hope to see you soon.